Our protagonist wakes up and is reincarnated in a new fantasy world. Waking up in hands of his mother, he notices that there is quiet ceiling, candles instead of LED bulbs. It was a fantasy world that lagged behind in civilization compared to the Earth. After protagonist noticed presence of maid and nice furniture, he realized he was born into fairly rich household. To him this was a decent place to reincarnate into, as on Earth he was an orphan without home who died from overwork. While trying to say something, mother touched his hands. After looking up, our protagonist remembered another reason why he thought that he was born into a rich household. It was because his mother was extremely beautiful. In midst of mom crying tears of joy because her newborn, our protagonist remembered that he is lucky that he won't have problems with love life in the future because of his looks. There we have a bit of a time skip and move 3 years into the future. Our protagonist is balancing on short chair trying to have a look at the outside world. Talking to himself how the world is otherworldly, and that the world was incredibly huge, even considering that he was just a child. As he is looking outside his window, a maid passing by young master's room notices him and urges him to step down from the chair as they think it's dangerous for a 3-year-old. Our protagonist in the 3-year span found that his family was part of the Grand Duchy, which was widely known within the kingdom. Apologizes to maid for causing her trouble. Born as a son of Grand Duke Dragonia and Kingdom of Lionheart, also known as a duke. We get a time skip when our protagonist is 8 years old and gets a brand new shiny sword. As at the age of 8 years old he starts learning swordsmanship as future knight of the kingdom. As our protagonist is from the Earth, he starts thinking to himself if he's going to become a fantasy knight and whenever or not, he will use sword chi or sword aura too. His master A was a knight dispatched from the palace that goes by the name of the Holy Knight, Sir Gothic. When they met, Sir Gothic is sure that this is the goddess's will, and it will be highly rewarding to teach young master. He greets young master, and we get the name of our protagonist, Leon. Leon is overjoyed by Sir Gothic and tells him to take care of his training. Meanwhile, in his head questions what Holy Knight even means. We get a cut to when Leon is 14 and training while cursing Sir Gothic and complaining that this kind of training is just a child abuse. Thinking to himself that the Holy Knight was just a monster masked in a human skin while being extremely hard to qualify to become one. You had to complete quests by training and become a knight of the kingdom through your experience and honor. And in the end be chosen by the Holy Grail and drink the holy water. Furthermore, as son of Dragonia, Leon had to learn everything there was to know about becoming a Grand Duke on top of that. In the meantime, we can see Leon trying to fight Sir Gothic while he just effortlessly parries and counterattacks. In the end, Sir Gothic counterattacks and sends Leon flying, telling him to look at his opponent until the end. At this moment, Leon remembers all the lessons he must go through to become Grand Duke, on top of that training to become a Holy Knight. Thinking that if there really was a God, he wants them to save him. Even though he doesn't believe in any religion. At 16 years old we see Leon passing through the rain in high boots trying to recollect where was something that he is looking for. Leon roamed the world in order to be acknowledged by the goddess and become a holy knight after accepting his quest. Asking how one goes about getting the goddess's acknowledgement. We get to see a burning village being attacked by orcs with people screaming for help. You just need to keep racking up your fame and good deed and she will eventually come to you. Leon thinking that this was ridiculous. We get to see warrior trying to fight off the orcs in front of the gates. Realizing that there were just too many of them, thinking this is the end, they start asking goddess to look after them. While Leon thinks back and says that there were countless opportunities for him to wield his sword to become a holy knight. Leon screaming at orcs for being filthy turn their head and Leon just massacres them. What concerned Leon was that his kingdom got too many enemies. At 20 years old Leon finally gets to meet the goddess. Leon realizes that they weren't lying about existence of the goddess. Goddess, knowing Leon's deeds, provides him with a quest to prove his honor and faith. To which Leon abruptly accepts. Learning that the goddess's name is Ariana. After that Leon embarked on a journey slaving away for many years, after which he becomes a holy knight. After that he just slayed slaying orcs, tearing apart goblins and slashing away the evil cult. Standing victorious on the war field he becomes a war knight of kingdom. Giving him authority to gather other knights. He alone massacred 700,000 orcs including women and children. Feeling bit of joy after cursing orcs as green sons of bitches. At 35 years Leon received a news that living saint and demigod Argon Majesty Lionheart passed away. It all happened while Leon was battling archdemons summoned by the Empire. Orcs were already enough of an headache, but now a demons were running amok. Leon believed this was reason why mankind needed to believe in gods and live faithfully. Leon mad at the magicians of Empire that summoned the archdemon. All that aside, new problem arise as they needed to elect a holy knight to become the successor of King Lionheart who died. Amidst all that chaos, goddess descended once again and selected Leon as the successor to bear a symbol of honor and faith. Leon, not pleased by the news, accepts nonetheless, knowing that this was position of honor and fatigue. But he couldn't let citizens of the kingdom and the knights who followed him down. Leon transplanted the sacred treasure, the lion heart, from the goddess and vowed to protect the Holy Grail. And this is story of how Leon became Grand Duke Dragonia and the king of Lionheart Kingdom. At 80 years old, there were many things that happened in that time. There were 3 great wars with orcs, and some weirdo hunchback goblin managed to evolve into an archdemon. While Empire managed to create even more fucked up situations. Leon received the news from a knight that Empire's School of Dark Magicians is enforcing experimentation again. Leon, knowing that all of this happened because Empire accepted bastardly northern cult. Thinking how dare they try to break away from God. Cursing them while ordering to gather the knights. This is what happens when you give human rights to those who don't even deserve to be slaves. Thinking he should just conquer them all. At 96 years old, Empire bastard finally do it. We offer 3 million live offering, screams men, asking for his wish to be granted. Emperor of Empire crossed the line. Fucker who used to say he didn't want to die committed a suicide with 3 million citizens from the capital. Summoning the Lord of Chaos in the capital. Eventually Leon decided to gather knights and take out the holy sword that wasn't even dry yet with the grease from the orcs from last year. Commanding knights, saying they are going to the Empire. At 121 years, Leon tried his best, but the world was being destroyed unlike his wishes. Finding a plushie of one of the soldiers, probably from their children, on the burnt ground, remembers that he tried to defeat all evil with all of the holiness that was on this continent, but that he couldn't stop them. Knight approaches Leon saying to him that his father died with honor and that he joined the feast of the gods as the knight was the one whose father died. Leon commands all the troops to look in front of them. Leon talking to goddess that all of her lambs are trembling with fear. Leon standing in front of the troops asks them if they can hear the sounds of the villains across the land. Still talking to goddess, telling her that women are consoling their crying children, swallowing their tears. Leon continues talking about the evil taking their brothers. And to the goddess that youths gathering dying flames of resistance in their hands. Leon asking the troops if they can hear sound of the villains who are trying to violate everything. Screaming to enrage eternally. Telling all the troops to remember that as long we have honor they will never lose. Leon, unsure, asks goddess what should foolish knight like him do. While screaming for the goddess, for honor. Goddess answers and tells him that she will be there with him till the end. Leon commands everyone to charge forward. That winter they fought the final battle with billions of devils who filled the earth. Barbarian slaves were used as worthy meat shields as the civilian knights armed with spears and shields died with honor along with the glorious knights. While chosen agent of all gods and all holy temples. Leon alone defeated the demons until the end. Tearing apart countless demon lords and archdemons. Showing those bastards the power of the holy knight. Years passing by, winter had yet to end. Slaying demons one by one, there was no end to them. At 256 years old, Leon managed to destroy the last remaining demon gate. There was nowhere left for demons to escape to. Leon shouting to the lowly servants of evil, that now they got nowhere to run and that they are stuck here with him in this world. Demons scared shitless, realizing that they were stuck here with this madman, while Leon declared that he will kill every last one of them. At 300 years old mark, finally slashing the last remaining demon. While out of nowhere a group of people appear asking what happened. There is a portal behind them, surprised that Leon defeated Archdemon in one slash. Only thing remaining is the skull of the demon on the ground. Leon commanding the women on the ground to rise, courageous one. Saying that now it not the time to fall, rise and fight. Group of people who arrived in visible confusion asks Leon who is he. Leon replies saying that he is the King Lionheart. Knight of the glorious knights, and the agent who carries out the will of the holy temples. Leon Dragonia Lionheart. While they were stuck, Leon realized that it was 300th year when he came across the earthlings again. Then a window appeared in front of him saying that he defeated all the demons. We get a look at the earth, showing that gate opened up in the middle of Seoul. The gate's rank was unidentifiable black. Meaning it was impossible to tell difficulty of the gate. The Korean Hunter Association and the World Hunter Association requested that nations' large guilds participate in the raid. But every guild denied their request due to the fact that the difficulty of the gate was unknown. Selected group that was about to enter the gate stayed in front in disbelief. Government ordered the Korean Hunter Association to go in first, which was basically an execution order due to the unidentifiable rank. After entering, what the group witnessed was unbelievable: a naked man slaying demons. And in his background just corpse on corpse of slayed demons. We get introduced to women that was inside the gate and witnessed everything that goes by the name of Han Hari, Associate Manager of Korean Hunter Association. As she was zoned out, man approached her asking that if she was tired. That man was Kim Jinsu, head manager of Korean Hunter Association. Asking Hari how is the interrogation of the Leon going. Hari says that no one's believing it. As to be expected. As the gate was black rank demon gate with even the great devil. Coming back alive without the help of other guilds is already a miracle, but to have cleared it? Yeah, not happening. And all of that just because of one man. Leon sitting looking agitated being interrogated while Hari and Kim talked about how he is the survivor from inside the gate. Yes, a survivor from the other world. There were occasional people who managed to survive in the gate realm. The gates that have appeared all around the world over the last 30 years share similarities. The truth is that theme is of a world on its way to destruction or a world that has already been destroyed with monsters left behind to be cleared. And sometimes from these worlds survived and managed to come back to Earth through the gate. All that while keeping the unbelievable strength they've earned in the demon realm. Because of that, government tries their best to cater to the needs of the survivors to get them on their side. Setting plans on scouting them later. Hari and Kim realize that they need to scout Leon no matter what as they realize that he is incredibly strong. Kim makes a remark about the fact that even a rank hunter has to risk their life when fighting a high-ranking demon. While Leon killed the great devil with just one attack. A monster that even the most skilled S-rank hunters are afraid of. Leon didn't just kill him, he completely overpowered it. Well, from all the talking they done, Kim is most worried about the cultural difference between them as they notice that Leon is some kind of royalty from the way he referred to himself. Hari reassures Kim that it's going to be alright as she could hear it from his voice that he's a very good person. In that moment Leon angry screams at the interrogator hat he is just a lowly. And with just that breaks the windows. Kim and Hari in complete disbelief by Leon destroying the glass that stops even the monster was broken by just a shout from him. Leon standing over the broken desk pissed asks how dare a interrogator dirties a glorious Lionheart name. Kim questioning if he really is a good person while Leon angry at interrogator who is trying to apologize to him profusely. With Hari saying maybe it's those cultural differences. We go 15 minutes back in time. Leon is being questioned while realizing that this feels foreign to him. Guessing that's given as he was just an orphan who labored in his 20s and then died of the exhaustion. After that being reincarnated where he become the king and knight of a kingdom for more than a century. After conquering the world of the demons Leon hunted them for 200 years. That was 300 years in total, so for Leon it's relief that he even had any memories of this place as he was working construction job. Interrogator unsure how to start the conversation start by greeting Leon referring to him by his full name. Leon realizing that it won't be beneficial for him to reveal the fact that he used to be an earthling. Also, isn't a Night King who lived 300 years in the other world much better than a guy in his 20s who died from overworking himself? Leon in aggressive tone tells Interrogator to refer to him as His Majesty. Calling him peasant. Interrogator is at this point completely confused. Decides to just play along, which Leon notices. Leon starts thinking if Interrogator is just a nice person or if the government is just careful about how they approach survivors like him. Interrogator starts by addressing from where Leon came, which is a black gate that came into contact with hunters from the association. Further asking if he was the one to kill all those demons. Leon stating that he indeed did and asks Interrogator if he already forgot. Interrogator not knowing asks what does Leon mean but gets interrupted in the middle of his sentence by Leon stating to him that it was him that killed all those evil species and protected the honor of the knights. And orders the Interrogator to become his temporary secretary. Bestowing upon him the privilege of recording this glorious incident that happened inside the gate. After that Leon goes on and tells him about the story. After which he asks if there is no etiquette rules for how they treat royalty here. Translating to I'm hungry, Interrogator realizes that and tells him he will have a meal prepared right away. Leon tells him to tell him about this world as he needs to figure out what happened to Earth while he was gone. Interrogator states that this nightmare suddenly began 30 years ago. Stating that gates began opening all over the world. With monsters and demons appearing from them. From that point forward all of the humanity has been in constant state of emergency. After taking a lot of losses, they realized that each gate had a theme and a clear quest that had to be completed for the gate to close. But if the gate was left unattended for a while, dungeon break would occur in which monsters invade the earth. In which somebody knocks on the door, Interrogator realizes that it's the meal. Leon realizes that it's a bit different compared to the world he came from. As in his world demons invaded like mushrooms after a rain. But on Earth had gates with themes and quests. As if to train humans, through trials. After a while Interrogator arrives with the food ready for Leon. Leon looks at the food but after a quick second gets angry again, realizing that this bone broth boiled for hours, topped with salt, pepper and some crunchy kimchi. Called a sulingtong. Brings him memories of the time he was earthling and a laborer. This dish was like soul food for him. Leon knowing that people are bound to enjoy food that they know they like in comparison to something new. As Leon forced himself to swallow down the saliva accumulating in his mouth, he forced himself to not eat it. asking interrogator what is this. Interrogator, not knowing this battle inside Leon's head, just explains that it's Sulangtong. He goes on to explain to him that it's also known as soul food of peasants. Which gets Leon extremely mad, screaming at interrogator being inferior and how dare he sully the glorious Lionheart name. Asking him how dare he serve a royal a peasant's dish. Further asking if that's how his kingdom treats another kingdom's royal. Leon dra Agnia Lionheart, a royal from the other world. Proxy for the gods and guardian of the Holy Grail and the owner of the Holy Blade and the Holy Spear. Going back to reality, Leon calls interrogator an inferior peasant and to get out. Also being the arch nemesis of the Demosin who have killed millions of demons. Incarnation of the history of 300-year war itself, that is who Leon really was. While lastly being a returner who used to be an earthling. What he thought when he returned to Earth after 300 years was that it was a total mess. According to him, it was all because there was no proper religious faith. While also realizing that it was duty of the royal family to enlighten the foolish peasants. Despite having returned to Earth, he was still a night king. Leon comfortably eating his steak that is worthy food of a king. Kim unsure how Leon recognized chicken and black bean noodles, but Hari just thankful that he is enjoying his T-bone steak and red wine from 1993. Kim tells Hari to go first to meet Leon, while Hari opposes that she can't use historical language. Kim tells her it's still better for her to go forward as Leon might be more interested in her. As she got complimented by Leon saying that she was brave and that she won't get kicked out. Hari being flustered says that he only said that she was brave and that's it. Hari enters the room with Leon by addressing him as Your Majesty. Apologizing straight away for interrupting him while eating. Leon recognizes her as a swordsman from before. Telling her to sit down while she gives thumbs up behind her back to people watching the room from the camera room. Hari starts off by asking the meal was to King's liking. Leon admits that it wasn't bad and that he could feel the sincerity and finesse of the chef. And tells Hari that the reason for giving them hard time wasn't because the food was humble. But because of their attitude towards the king. Stating that when you greet royalty from a foreign nation, they should be treated as such. Wouldn't that be related to the status of your nation? Hari on edge apologizes that due to her lack of knowledge, she has disrespected the king. Leon, knowing sincerity from Hari, says that it's fine and asks for her name. As to which she introduces herself as Han Hari. Leon goes on to mention that he heard about this world. Mentioning the demons, asks if those wicked things also appeared on Earth. Hari nods and says yes. Meanwhile in her head she had only one mission, and that was to get Leon to join the Hunter Association. But if that didn't work, at least get him to join her country. Hari, being a bold one, asks straight away that perhaps if His Majesty would give them his royal permission, the South Korean government would look after him from now on. Motive of the 21st century intelligence war is to scout survivors. No matter how much support is promised, you need to stop them from joining another country. Leon, being a knight, knows that as long as he is settled in this world, he has a duty to go to the battlefield. Stating that's only right if he is an honorable knight, that he should fight. Hari, in disbelief that Leon might already join the association, asks if he wants to be affiliated with their Hunters Association, in which Leon interrupts her saying that a king cannot be a soldier for another nation's military. And that he will create a new knight's order here in this world. From that point on, Hari could only nod. After leaving the room she asks as to what did the higher-ups say after the interrogation. Kim says what could they even say? They need to give as much support as possible. And that it's great that Leon haven't left for another country or large guild. Hari tired thinking how association affiliated with government need to bow down to one person. Hari angry blaming bastards from the large guilds who flaunt their money and power. To which Kim replies with the news that Phoenix Guild gets interrupted by sudden alarm. As he received notification on his phone, he sees that there is an urgent message that dungeon break will occur at Honam Plains. Kim realizes that if a dungeon break happens at the location of granary, demonic element will bring the production of food to a halt. Hari makes a point if that isn't a territory of a Phoenix Guild where an S-rank hunter Lee Young-Won-si is. Stating that there is no way that he won't be able to stop an orange-colored gate. While Kim agrees, he is certain that those bastards have a different plan and that they need to stop them quickly. Leon, sitting in the room, could hear the whole conversation. Leon notices that they might be in a trouble. Questioning himself that if a dungeon break happens and the ground becomes infected and crops don't grow. As expected from his thought, this place doesn't have it. Leon makes a mind connection asking if they are well. To our surprise, it's Demera, the goddess of harvest. She smiles after receiving this mind connection from Leon. Arriving on the scene, Hari and Kim question what on the earth is happening here. To which Lee Young-Won, and Guildmaster of Phoenix Guild and an S rank, asks if they are from the association. After a quick glance he recognizes Kim and rookie Hari. Kim, knowing that they purposely let the dungeon break happen because of requests they denied from Phoenix Guild. As they gained a lot of profit from gates and monsters, they want to be exempt from paying tax of 1 trillion. Even though they are already large guild with enough benefits. But to think they would do this just because their request got rejected. Hari pressed Hunter Lee Young-won that they need to close the gate right now. Because as of today it's a week, leaving it like this will cause the break. Hunter Lee Young-won replies saying that he knows that authority of the auction gate will be handed over. But asks what can he do? Stating that his guild members are gravely injured and that it'll be difficult to reign in this state. Saying they will try to do it by tomorrow but don't know what will happen. Hari, infuriated by this, shouts at him, asking if he doesn't have an ounce of patriotism in him. Knowing damn well what will happen if they don't clear it. Hunter Lee Young-won laughed hysterically, asking if she really thinks that he doesn't know. Asking why is Hari being so childish, stating that he told her this truth in the last year's draft. That in this world justice in money and power. In that, Leon arrives and states to him that he is quite shallow and old-fashioned. Hari, surprised, calls Leon by his name. To which Leon says to not say King's name so lightly and that she only permitted her to call him by his title. Hunter Lee Young-won, not knowing Leon, asks infuriated who is, as he looks like a Westerner. To which Leon tells him to be quiet. And how dare a person as lowly as him speak to him. Hunter Lee Young-won in total disbelief as what wrong with that bastard. Calling him, one of 20's rank hunters of the world, guildmaster of a large guild lowly. As his patience runs out, asks Leon if he wants to die and starts channeling fire spell in his arm. In that moment Hari urges him to stop, noting that Leon is a survivor. Hunter Lee Young-won realizes and apologizes to Leon, saying that he was rude, and introduces himself as guildmaster of Phoenix Guild. As he starts asking Leon some question, after that Leon tells him that King does not repeat himself. Leon, not knowing the detail, asks Hari and Kim to tell him the problem. As he doesn't know the details of the gate and to give them a good summary. Kim and Hari agree in disbelief that he will help them. Hari states that it's a dungeon break. When that happens, a large amount of demonic element comes out and infects the land. And the crops don't grow on infected land. Further stating that Honam Plains is an important granary, which is why this is crucial. As of now, the spreading demonic energy is infecting the ground. Leon asks for the solution. To which Hari states to purify the infection and clear the dungeon as soon as possible, and that they need to get rid of the dungeon completely. Leon grasps the situation, knowing that an infected land and the growth of the gate is the problem. As they walk, she tells Hari to call their forces. And that tomorrow, when the time limit for the ownership of gate for Phoenix Guild expires, he as the king will personally step in. Hari, already happy, gets interrupted with Leon stating that before that happens, a king from a foreign country cannot do any military activities in another territory as he pleases. And that first he needs to receive permission from this nation's king. Hari, hopeless, trying to explain to Leon that it's okay, while Leon stands his ground and claims that there is a legitimate process and rules for everything. How can one call yourself an honorable knight when one doesn't abide by the laws of his nation? Hurley tells Hari to send word to her king. In midst of all of that happening, Hunter Lee Young-won in complete disbelief that this bastard is worse than him. In the end, they ask the president for the permission. After that, we get to see Hari approaching His Majesty, saying that she did the preparations that Leon told her to do, but she was left wondering how is he going to use a straw dolls. Leon, not bothered, replies that the precious land is infected and that we need to purify it. Hari, not understanding, asks if they gonna purify it with this straw doll. While we get an explanation that Leon requested 2 things. One was a straw doll. We get to see Leon asking Hari if those are the wives that made the dolls. While the other thing was people who made the doll were to be women who had given birth. Leon is pleased with preparations and asks everyone to show them the dolls that they made. And that's how a doll making competition opened up in the middle of the plains. Leon, left staring at the straw doll, says it's impossible. Women who made the doll, not knowing what he means, asks him. To which triggered Leon just destroys the doll and tells woman that how can one call this metaphysical eccentric body a doll? This was a failure. With that, Leon goes on a rampage, throwing dolls from different women's left and right, calling the dolls a failures. While cursing all the women and them cursing at him back. After touching so many and feeling hopeless, Leon noticed one woman that caught his eye, which was 89th woman, an old married woman. Calling her doll incredible. Leon starts asking her how many children have she given birth to. Woman, pleased by young man's questions, replies with honor and says 12. With Leon calling her the origin of life of a living patriot. Leon, very happy that he found this woman, kisses her hand as an apology. Because in his previous life he would normally send knights with medal and gift, however due to the situation it's not possible. Leon places the doll on a table in the middle of infected field. Looking like he is about to perform some kind of ritual. As the conditions have been met, he starts and a blue portal appears around his hand. From which he takes out a cup. And starts chanting, Mother of this abundant land, the people of this earth are offering you this doll of harvest. Please receive it. After that, the cup on the table starts shaking and the water starts spilling everywhere. Hari notices that the cup is filling up with water on its own. The sun is rising. A red light is tinting the clouds. A new day is wanting to start. However, the sun that is rising today will be a special start to this world. Everyone left in awe as the water droplets are going inside the doll, while also the doll stands up on its own. As the doll stands up, she greets Lionheart as his child. To which Leon humbly greets Mother Earth back. Also known as Demera, the god of life and abundance. Demera, happy to see Lionheart again, just says that it's been a while since she last seen him. With Leon happy that divinity had descended on this land, Leon greets the great Mother Earth. Dear Demera, the divine being ruling over life and fertility. Demera notices that this new land is also being invaded by evil and that is contaminated. Leon admits that there are also evil species on this land. As there is no divinity here. So he is afraid that the lowly and vulgar swines might sully her eyes. To which Demera, knowing of mortal sins, says that ignorance and greed cannot always be judged as sins. And that those are the built-in characteristics of a mortal. Asks Leon what does he plan on doing now. After thinking for a brief second, admits that it's not hard to blend in amongst the swordsmen, but the authority of a conqueror is divine. Making sure that duty and authority can be on equal grounds here. Stating that he will teach the ignorant and lead them to the right path. Until the day a new pantheon arises on this earth. Pleased by this, Demera asks if her child does not have a favor to ask of her. Saying that they are always ready to help their children. Leon, in soft demeanor, asks to free the citizens of this earth that are suffering because of an evil energy. Leon, being certain that it's not something that she desires to do, but asks her to please heal and purify this land. Demera, pleased by Leon coming out with his request, states that he is her temple's head. Their champion. This world's earth is not her body, but she will spread her divinity here and substitute this thirsty earth with her flesh. Then everything that walks on this earth will be your ally. Everyone in shock from the light that struck the ground. While Leon screams at them to watch and learn. As you who are ignorant and cannot learn and cannot know. This is a world that is blessed with divinity. Give birth and prosper. That is the righteous duty of a living being. Further stating that this fertile earth is the proof of an eternal promise. Hunter Li Yongwan, in disbelief and angry, tells everyone to not get fooled. As these crops were grown using magic, are poisonous. Stating that everyone knows that. Leon, realizing that this ignorant fool speaks again, tell him that these are crops blessed with divinity. So how dare he judge it as poison? Li Yongwan starts cursing that stupid straw doll, but gets interrupted by Leon saying that he can forgive ignorance just once, and to not dirty goddess with his light tongue again. Li, in complete shock, can't let this happen as his whole plan is about to be ruined because of a one person. Realizing that he can't let it happen, he will expose his blatant lies. So he decides that Leon still needs to prove it and that Leon will cooperate for the sake of the people who will be eating this. Thinking that he will frame as a fraud. Conveniently, he introduces the appraiser. As the appraiser begins evaluating the crops, it gets indulged in blue energy. After a quick second, a system window appears stating that it's a blessed rice. With a rare rank. Appraiser, in total shock, realizes that all of this rice is rare rank and that it cures tier 3 diseases, even cancer. Hari asks if that's really the case. To which appraiser says that it's really the case. Kim, realizing that they need to bring a pot from Chief's house to cook the rice to test it out. After bringing the pot and cooking the rice, Kim realizes that there was no way that thing like this exists. System window appears giving some info about the buffs the rice gives and length of the effect. To which Kim concludes that it's basically a reinforcer. Questioning how can mere rice be equivalent to a reinforcer that's worth 3,000,001 per bottle. With all that, Hari comes running to him stating that she got a big news. Telling him that she got a bit curious and ate a bug. Kim, in disbelief, why would she do that? But Hari reveals that she got a buff from it. After that, Kim realizes that if blessing is really all over the land, that it makes sense that even the living beings got blessed. After that, all the hunters start running wild on the field trying to catch as many possible to get full buffs before entering the gate. Demera addresses Leon saying that it seemed that she has done what needed to be done here. And that she should go back now. Leon understands and kneels before Demera, telling her that he never did and never will forget the divine love she had given them. Demera lightly touches Leon's head and tells him that she will give him one last lecture. That was to make sure that he feeds himself. In that moment, Demera's spirit leaves the doll and returns to its place. Hari, witnessing this, asks His Majesty what it was, to which Leon just replies with divine power. Asking if there is no God in this world. Hari, unsure, replies with just that she don't know. Leon, trying to teach her, tells her that proper life and world is made with divine power. And that you earthlings better keep that in mind. Concluding with saying that the soldiers are full and buffed, so they will go into the gate. One of the guild members of Phoenix Guild asks Guildmaster Li Yongwan and everything is going to be alright. Because of now it looks like there will be problems with his plans. Li, angry at survivor Leon, asks where did such bastard come from? If it weren't for him the government wouldn't have had a choice but to listen to his request. Wishing Leon death inside the gate. At that moment an idea struck his mind. Telling his guild member that it's not a bad idea and that he shouldn't worry. Realizing that the gate's already somewhat raided but that there is still boss remaining. Thinking that there is only one A rank Hari with them and thinking Leon is blessing type buffer, betting that he's shit when it comes to combat, meaning they will definitely fail. Because inside the gate resides a monster that cannot be defeated using ordinary means. At that moment system window appears telling the dungeon break is beginning, announcing death and that all the lives of the living beings in the gate are on countdown.